Very good morning to all honorable attendees of today. First of all, a very big thank you, madam, for taking out your valuable time and guiding our students. Respected principal, sir, dear faculty members, teaching fraternity of other pharmacy colleges, our colleagues from the hospital and the industrial front, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to the international webinar hosted by the Institutional Innovation Council as that of today on 24th of May 2021. Respected attendees, I take this opportunity to call upon Professor Dr. Sujit K, Honorable Principal, Hindustan College of Pharmacy, to address the congregation for today.
Good morning and warm welcome to one and all to the webinar on pharma career opportunities in USA, hosted by the Institution Innovation Council of Hindustan College of Pharmacy. Today we have with us resource person Dr. Ramya Rajan, who has done pharmacy education in India and hold a doctorate in pharmaceutical chemistry from University of Münster, Germany. And at present, she is a postdoctoral research associate in the University of Illinois in USA. On behalf of the management, faculty, and students of Hindustan College of Pharmacy, I extend a warm welcome and heartfelt thanks to Dr. Ramya Rajan for accepting our invitation and sharing her valuable time with us. And I hope the time in USA at present is at around 11:30 p.m. Thank you, ma'am, for being present at this scheduled time for the convenience of all our student delegates. We also extend a warm welcome to the faculty delegates, student delegates, and students from various schools who are attending this webinar. The rich experience of the research person in pharma sector in USA and Germany shared in this webinar will really help the student delegates who wish to make a pharma career in abroad. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Respected dignitaries, to carve and detail the speaker for today, I implore the assistance of Mr. Prashant A.R., Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, Hindustan College of Pharmacy. Sir, may I request you to do the honors?
Okay, thank you, sir. This is my great pleasure to welcome the honorable speaker, Dr. Ramya Rajan, on behalf of our most respected principal, Dr. Sujit sir. Dr. Ramya Rajan is working as a postdoctoral research associate at laboratory of Dr. Catherine Christian Hinman under the Department of Molecular and Integrative Physiology, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. She completed her PhD in pharmaceutical chemistry from University of Münster, Germany, Master in Science in Medicinal Chemistry from National Institute of Pharmaceutical and Educational Research, Raebareli, India, and Bachelor of Pharmacy from St. Joseph College of Pharmacy, Kerala. During these times, Dr. Ramya Rajan published many research articles in various reputed journals like European Journal of Medicinal Chemistry and SINLET. During the path of success, Madam got so many rewards and scholarships from various government bodies within India and abroad. She got NIPER Fellowship from Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers from Government of India, and she also awarded SIM International Max Planck Graduate Scholarship also. With this brief description, I am welcoming the speaker, Dr. Ramya Rajan, to lead this section. Once again, welcome, madam.
Thank you so much, Prashant sir, for such a nice introduction. I would like to share my screen now. So I guess my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the principal of Hindustan College of Pharmacy, Dr. Sujit K, and the faculty coordinators for giving me this opportunity Pardon me if I look a bit sleepy, it's almost midnight here. In this presentation, I'll be mainly focusing upon how to get into research after BPharm and the possibilities of pharma career in the United States of America. So welcome to this presentation, and let's move forward. So in our country, India, there is a very basic mentality among the people that pharmacy career either means opening a pharmacy shop or working as a hospital pharmacist, or else the highest that the society can think is a medical representative job. But this is not entirely the end of a pharmacy career. So, please, yeah. So I know that the pharmacy students don't need an introduction about pharmacy, but I was informed by Dr. Martin that there will be some high school students who will be participating in this webinar. So for them, I thought it's better to give a small introduction about pharmacy. So pharmacy is the clinical health science that links the medical science with chemistry, and it is charged with discovery, production and disposal, safe and effective use of medication and drugs. The practice of pharmacy requires excellent knowledge of the drugs, their mechanism of action, the side effects, the interactions, the drug interactions, the mobility, toxicity, etc. Now, drugs are the substance that are used to diagnose, prevent or cure, or relieve the symptoms of a disease. At the same time, it also requires knowledge of the treatment and understanding of the pathological process associated with the disease. Now, while talking about pharmacy, there are three general primary disciplines. So the first one is pharmaceutics, which is also known as the science of dosage form design. So pharmaceutics is a discipline of pharmacy that deals with the process of turning a new chemical entity or an old drug into a medication that can be used safely and effectively by a patient. Now, the second general discipline is medicinal chemistry and pharmacognosy. So medicinal chemistry, or as you all call it, the pharmaceutical chemistry, is involved with the design and chemical synthesis of the active ingredients. And pharmacognosy is the study of the plants and other natural sources for the presence of these active ingredients. And the third one would be pharmacology. Pharmacology is the branch that is concerned with mainly how the drug acts in the body, the mechanism of action, etc. So these are some of the career opportunities that I wanted to mention in pharmacy. So I'll start with academics. So academics involves being a part of the education system and teaching the diploma, bachelor's and master's students. It also involves molding the students for the future pharmaceutical world. The next would be pharma marketing, which refers to the implementation of digital and offline strategies used to attract new patients and create awareness around a specific drug or a new treatment plan developed by the company. So technically, it means selling a company's new product. Now, a pharmaceutical company is not complete without its marketing department, and only a pharmacist can properly sell a new pharmaceutical product of the company because of the knowledge the pharmacists gain during their studies. Now, when it comes to the government jobs, there are many options, such as drug inspectors, drug controllers, government pharmacists, scientists in CSIR labs. To become a scientist in CSIR lab, it requires a postdoctoral qualification, which we will be discussing in the coming slides. Next is the regulatory bodies, which involves working with organizations like AICTE or PCI or the CDSCO, etc. Now, the AICTI or the PCI are responsible for controlling the quality of pharmacy education in India. And the CDSCO controls whether a pharmaceutical formulation deserves to enter the market or not. Another option is opening a pharmacy shop, either a retail or a wholesale. You can also try to establish your own pharmaceutical company and be an entrepreneur. Pharmacy graduates have a career in pharmaceutical packaging too. Now, moving on to the left side of the figure, the hospital pharmacy and community pharmacy. In India, it is normally seen that the main job of a hospital pharmacist or a community pharmacist is dispensing the medication. But in the Western countries, it is the pharmacist who explains everything about the medication to the patient starting from its mechanism of action to the possible side effects. Now, the B.Pharm graduates have an interesting career in the production and manufacturing of the pharmaceuticals, similarly the formulation and development. Now, the quality control area of the pharmaceutical company is involved in the marketing of safe and therapeutically active formulations whose performance is consistent and predictable. The minimum qualification required for this job is again a bachelor in pharmacy. Next comes the regulatory affairs department of the pharmaceutical company, where the pharmacist works for obtaining approval for new pharmaceutical products and ensuring that this approval is maintained as long as the company wants to keep the product in the market. So it basically involves studying the different laws associated with the formulation and to work accordingly. Today's discussion is mainly about how a pharmacist can get into the research development and the opportunities of the pharmacist in Western countries. So these two sections will be discussed in the coming slides. There are many opportunities for a pharmacist. The ones included here are just a very small fraction of it. So before directly jumping into the opportunities abroad or how to get into research, this is a small slide about the different qualifications in the field of pharmacy. So the first one is D.Pharm, or we call the Diploma in Pharmacy. It is a most basic education in pharmacy in India. Now, Bachelor in Pharmacy, in which most of you students are right now enrolled. A PharmD or a Doctor of Pharmacy, which is a professional doctorate degree in pharmacy. In most countries, it is the first professional degree and a prerequisite for licensing to practice the profession of pharmacy or to become a clinical pharmacist. In most of the Western countries, PharmD is the basic requirement to practice pharmacy. Then you have postgraduate degrees like M.Pharm or M.S.Pharm in various disciplines. Then you have a degree called MBA in pharmaceutical marketing, which help you to get into the marketing department of the pharmaceutical companies. Then, now, if you really want to go into research, the first thing you should have is a master's and then a PhD in any of the pharmaceutical sciences, like pharmaceutical chemistry. It could be pharmacology, biotechnology, or microbiology, and then get some postdoctoral research experience. So, as previously said in the last slide, to enter the pharmaceutical research, the basic education required is a master's degree followed by a PhD. Let's see how we can apply for a master's degree in India first. So you can either take a GPAT examination and apply to different universities, or you can enter the IITs by taking GATE exam and then do masters with scholarships, or you can enter NIPER, the best pharmaceutical research institute in India, by qualifying the NIPER joint entrance examinations. The other way to apply for masters is to apply abroad. The first initial step to apply for masters abroad would be to clear IELTS or TOEFL, because this exam is the primary requisite, which gives you the language proficiency. And so this is the first step to apply for masters abroad. Then if you want to go for a master's degree in US, the first thing you need to qualify after qualifying IELTS or TOEFL is GRE, which is called a graduate record examination. And once you qualify this, apply to different universities. Other countries other countries only require you to prove your language proficiency. Once you have the certificate, you can start applying. Now, once you have a master's, either from India or abroad, the next step in research would be to apply for a PhD. So there are many ways to apply for PhD in India. I would say that this is really a good thing that India offers a lot of scholarships for PhD aspirants. So to apply for a PhD in India, the admission requires either you can take up the CSIR UGC NET examination and apply to the CSIR labs in India, or as I said, you can take the NIPER entrance examinations and apply to the NIPER research labs, or you can take the GATE examination and apply to the different IITs. Last but not the least, you can apply to different universities through qualifying their entrance examination and apply to the government institutions. Among these, I would say that my favorite will be taking a CSA or UGC NET examination and applying for CSR labs, because this will increase your chances of finding a postdoc position abroad. Now, we have now discussed how to apply for a PhD in India. Now we will see how we can apply for a PhD abroad. So the first and the foremost thing that every country requires is good grades during your master's. So if you have a percentage grading system, something around 90 to 95% would work. Or if you have a GPA grading system, something in the range of 9 to 9.5 would work. Now, for application to the European countries, especially Germany, what you can do is you can apply. First of all, you need good grades. And then what you need to do is you can apply through various graduate schools such as the Max Planck Institute, or you can apply through different funding agencies like that are mainly for PhD aspirants. You can also apply through the funding agencies like Humboldt or the Madame Curie fellowships. These is like one option. And another option is to directly apply to a professor in a university with a good cover letter explaining your research interest and at least 2 recommendation letters from your previous lecturers or professors. If you really want to have a PhD abroad, I would strongly recommend getting a master's degree from NIPER or IITs or ICERs or any other research institutions. I mean, this doesn't mean that any the government research institutions in the government institutions or the university institutions are bad. This really doesn't mean that. But if you really want to apply for a PhD abroad, the application with having the names like Indian Institute of Technology or National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research really has a good impact on the application. Now, for applying for PhD in USA. Exactly, first step will be good grades in your master's. And then you need to qualify the GRE exam. Same like the master's, we discussed that we have to qualify a GRE exam to get into master's. And similarly for PhD, you need to qualify a GRE exams. Once you have a good score in GRE, you can start applying to the universities in USA. Similarly, for Canadian universities, they have an examination which is called GMAT, or a Graduate Management Admission Test. This is a primary requisite, and then you will need a language proficiency test like IELTS or TOEFL. And once you have these 2 scores, you can apply to the Canadian universities for PhD. And once you have a PhD, you can easily apply for a postdoctoral position in different universities or industries and enter the world of pharmaceutical research. So this was all about how to apply to a research after your BPharm. And now I will move on to the how to be a pharmacist from India in USA. So first I will talk about NAPLEX examination. So this NAPLEX examination, or the North American Pharmacist Licensure examination, this is a computer-based examination which is conducted by the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy, USA. This examination is the basic examination that has to be qualified by every applicant to get a license to practice pharmacy in USA. Now, this is, as I said, the basic requirement for every applicant. Now, if you are a pharmacist from India, there are many other examinations that you have to qualify. The first one will be FPGEE, which is called Foreign Pharmacy Graduates Equivalency Examination. This will be followed by TOEFL or IELTS examinations for proving your language proficiency. Once you have these 2 examinations qualified, you will get a certificate from the FPGEE committee. And once you have the certificate, you have to write the NAPLEX exam for your license. Once you have your NAPLEX exam qualified, another exam is pharmacy law test, which is a multi-state pharmacy jurisprudence examination. Now, so the first step for all these would be to prepare for all these examinations. Of course, I mean, if you want to qualify, you have to prepare well. And second would be meanwhile, you will have to apply for a B1 visitor visa, because all these examinations, except IELTS or TOEFL, have to be given when you are in the US. And IELTS or TOEFL can be given when you're in India. So it's really not a problem. But the FPGEE or the NAPLEX or the pharmacy law test is supposed to be taken when you are in the United States of America. Now, the third step, within the visa period, apply and qualify all the examinations that's mentioned above. Now, the last step would be to complete the internship period. Like first, you have to clear all these examinations. Once you have cleared all these examinations, you have to complete the internship period. Now, the pharmacy education in the United States is like 6 years. So depending upon the theory and the practical hours of education the applicant is having, they will have to complete an internship period, which varies from a minimum of 6 months to a maximum of 1.5 years. Now, after listening to all these, the name of all these examinations, you might think that, is this really worth it? I will not say that this is an easy cup of tea, but trust me, qualifying all these examinations and being a pharmacist in the United States is really worth it. Now, once you have a license to practice pharmacy in US, there are many various possibilities for the pharmacy in the US. So this involves being an outpatient pharmacist, a pharmacy resident. So that would be like a senior pharmacist. And then you have a pharmacy supervisor. And then you have drug information pharmacist, which provides proper information to the patients about the different drugs they are administering. Then you have a clinical pharmacist who will be mainly participating in the clinical trials. Then you have a hospice pharmacist who will be taking care of the patients who are hospitalized or terminally ill. Then you have a floater pharmacist. So floater pharmacist is something like, you know, if the pharmacist in charge is going on vacation or is suddenly sick, the floater pharmacist comes into action and take up the job that time. So every hospital has a floater pharmacist. So, or else you have a supervisor pharmacist or a hospital pharmacist. Then you have pharmacy clinical operations manager, or you can work as a clinical trial pharmacist. And then you have ambulatory pharmacist, or the pharmacist in the pharmaceutical industry, who will be working in marketing, sales, production, and manufacturing, formulation and development, etc. Now, this was all about my slides. And now I would like to thank the principal of Hindustan College of Pharmacy, Dr. Sujit K, and the faculty coordinators, Dr. Alex Martin, Mr. Prashant A.R., Mr. Arun T.S., Mr. Kiran K.J., and the students of Hindustan College of Pharmacy. And last but not the least, I would like to thank my teachers who saw the seeds of research in me. I would like to thank them for their support, and my friends and family for being my strength and pillar. And thank you all for your kind attention. So now I would like to open this virtual floor for questions, or in case if anyone is hesitant to ask questions now, you can email me your questions at my email ID, which is already given in the slide. Thank you. And I'm open for questions.
Any participants have any questions can either ask a question to the resource person, or you can post your questions in the chat box.
Oh, I'm happy the presentation was quite clear, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're hesitant to ask me now, it's totally fine. It's totally fine.
Friends, if you want to ask any question, you can ask directly to the madam.
Okay. So
what is the opportunity for the PharmD graduates? How can
PharmD graduates? Actually, if you see in the Western countries, the PharmD is the basic requirement for practicing this practicing pharmacy, and for the license, you need the basic requirement is PharmD in the Western countries. But it depends which university where you're getting a PharmD from, because otherwise you will have to qualify the equivalency examination that I mentioned in the slide. and then only you can practice practice pharmacy there. Some universities, I don't know exactly which all universities in India have this license thing. So I think that Manipal University does have it. So they don't have to clear the examination. They can just directly go and apply for a license. They just have to clear the NAPLEX, and they don't have to do the equivalency examination. And I think Kerala University too has it. I'm not so sure about it.
A BPharm graduate, can they do any higher studies in US? They can.
Of course, I mean, they can go for masters, they can go for a PhD, and if they want, they can go for masters and then apply for the license. In that case, they don't have to do the foreign equivalency examination because they have a master's degree from the US. So it's totally fine in that way too.
Thank you.
Ma'am, what is the difference of practice of pharmacy in India and other countries?
I mean, if you see in India, if you see, I can give you an example with hospital pharmacy or community pharmacy. What you see in India is hospital pharmacy or community pharmacy, they're just dispensing the medication. I mean, that's what I have seen. They're just, I mean, whatever the doctor is prescribing, they're just dispensing the medication. But here or any other Western countries, the duty of a hospital pharmacist is to explain each and every possible side effect, mechanism of action, and everything to the of the drug to the patient. So this is one way. And I mean, I would say the functions of an industrial pharmacist would be similar, and research pharmacist would also be similar. But the main difference is the hospital pharmacy and the community pharmacy.
Thank you, ma'am.
How about the visa to get into the hospital pharmacy in US? So you need to apply for a B1 visa, but that is like a visitor visa that you apply, and you have to qualify all these examinations once you're there with once you're here with your visitor visa. And then only, I mean, there is no such visa like to get into the hospital pharmacy. You can get a visa which is called a visitor visa, and then you can come to the US, take these examinations, qualify these examinations. Then you will get a student visa, which is an F1 visa, and then you have to complete your internship period. And once you complete your internship period, you have these qualified examinations, you get the license. And once you have the license, you have the H1B visa, of course.
Any other any other questions if students are having, they can ask madam. Alternatively, they can put it in the chat box so that we will be able to, madam will be able to read from there. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't address one question that was given, like
Yes,
I'm saying
yes,
anything to DPharm students. So, I mean, for the DPharm students, I would say that if you want to come to US, I mean, you really need to go through a lot of internship period because DPharm is just a 2 years course in India. I think it's a 2-year course, right, Dr. Martin?
Yes.
Yes. So in that case, I think that you will have to go through an internship period of like 4 years approximately to complete the PharmD time period. So, I mean, don't be disappointed. 4 years, not a big deal. You can do it. So just apply and try to come here. It's totally fine.
If any other questions are there, students can ask madam, or alternatively, they can put it in the chat box.
No. One question is duration of masters in USA same as in India? It depends because there is a period called 1-year thesis period. So it depends how long you take to complete your master thesis. If you complete it in 1 year, well and good, then you complete your master's in 2 years. And if you take your thesis to like complete in like 2 years or 3 years, then depending on the time you take for your master thesis, the duration of your master's will go like that. But yes, otherwise it's same, yes. 2 years masters. Yeah.
If students are having other queries, they can ask.
Good morning, ma'am. Madam, if you are interested to do PhD in Germany, you have to exhibit German language proficiency along with IELTS, like
Okay,
B
so
level,
actually,
C level, something like that.
yeah. Yeah, actually, it depends upon the university where you're applying, because some universities require TOEFL or IELTS, and some universities have this mandatory requirement of German. Like, I will not say like C1, no. They will hardly ask for A2 level, like the basics. They won't need more than that.
Okay.
Actually, that will be already given in the
Thank you, ma'am.
application website. Yeah, so that's fine.
Okay, and how easy is to find it a guide who is having the similar interest? So for that, we have to go through the university websites, or we personally mail them.
Put, I mean, if you want to do a PhD in medicinal chemistry, just put professors doing medicinal chemistry research in Germany in Google, and you will find the list there. And then just make the application. Just send your application to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
If any other queries are there, students are free to ask. The session is open.
I mean, if you want to do a master's in India, I would strongly recommend institutions like NIPER, because I mean, as I said, that name, impact of that name is really big when you apply for a PhD, or maybe IIT, or maybe ISOS, because abroad, what I have observed for the during my PhD life in Germany is, when the applications come, they are really going to look at what institute you did your master's from. So I mean, NIPER as a name, it's the best one. So you can just try there. Mohali, Raebareli, or Ahmedabad is really good. Hyderabad is really good too. So there are many institutions. They also provide scholarships, so that's not a problem for doing masters. It's really good. They provide scholarships. I mean, IITs provide the maximum scholarships. I think something around 18,000, if I'm not wrong, per month. And the NIPER provide, I guess, 12,000. Yeah, because that's what I got when I was in my master's, right? So 12,000, yeah. Doing a master's abroad would be quite a bit expensive, because the application requires a deposit of like around 10 lakhs. So if you really think that it's not possible, there are other options like doing masters in India, which is perfectly fine, because I did my masters in India and I think I turned out pretty good. So yeah.
Ma'am, there are a few questions in the YouTube live. They're asking the questions.
Yeah.
What are the requirements to go for a research after PharmD course?
Okay, so research, actually, you will have to get a PhD, because that is very important for research. Even after a PharmD, they prefer that you should have a PhD. But the advantage is that after PharmD, you don't need to do a master's. You can directly go for a PhD after your PharmD. But PhD is kind of the basic requirement for research wherever you go. Except if it is a clinical research, like clinical research in clinical trials and all. Except that everywhere they require a PhD. They need a PhD to apply for.
And there is also a question like, is B.Pharm alone eligible for writing whatever the exams mentioned here?
Yes, B.Pharm is really eligible. Yeah, a pharmacist with a B.Pharm degree can apply, can write these examinations. But as I said, the amount of internship period varies depending upon the hours of theory and the practical they have taken.
And there is also a question like, what are the opportunities for a B.Pharm graduate in UK?
I think every country have their own this examination qualification of the examination stuff. So I guess that UK also has this, but I'm not pretty sure about that.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up. I mean, I never thought about UK in this presentation.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
One more question they asked: how much time period will get say with B1
I'm
visa?
sorry?
How much time period will we get after reaching USA with B1 visa to complete all those exams?
I think it's a period of 9 months. So initially you get a period of 6 months B1 visa, and then it can be extended to another 9 months, 3 months. So altogether 9 months initially, but you can keep on extending that one. I mean, if you literally have money in your account, you can keep on extending that. Yeah. And if you're coming on the basis of if someone in your family has a green card here and you're applying for a visitor visa, you can get it for like 2 years. So it depends on what, if you have any person who has a green card or anything. So it depends on that too.
There is also one more question. Indian PharmD course is considered as a UG or PG in USA?
Okay, so this is actually like if you see the medical school here, they don't have this MD stuff here. They have this complete initial med school, and then they have this residency, and they go into attending post. So this is exactly what is for pharmacy here. They have complete a 6 years course. So this is like PharmD only. But if you ask me, I would say that's a doctorate of pharmacy. Yes, it's a doctorate degree.
Okay, thank you. One more question. How good is opportunities for industrial pharmacists abroad?
It's the same. I mean, once you have the license, you can apply anywhere in the industries, and like I mentioned, and sales, the manufacturing, production, formulation and development, everywhere you can apply once you have the license.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Okay, Alex, sir, you can, okay, Ria, you can go for the out of thanks. I think so Alex says connection problem there.
Thank you, sir. Dear all, on behalf of Hindustan College of Pharmacy and its entire fraternity, I take this opportunity with immense pleasure to thank our eminent speaker, Dr. Remya Rajan, who graced our scientific session amidst her busy schedules with her resourceful approach. Thank you, ma'am. You have already set an example for many pharmacy aspirants out here. So thank you for being with us today. Thank you.
Pleasure is all mine.
Thank you.
I would further extend my hearty thanks to our principal, Dr. Sujit sir, and also to the management of Hindustan College of Pharmacy, who always keep on encouraging us, and also for providing this opportunity to conduct this event. Thank you, sir. My deep sense of appreciation and thanks to all the participants who chose to be live with us today, and for showering that much of enthusiasm towards this program. Thank you all. Thank you once again. Stay safe and healthy.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you.
It's really a nice opportunity for me too, because this is like my first international webinar that I'm speaking, spoke about. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Shall I leave now? Is it okay?
Yes, madam. Definitely.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you everyone
Thank
for your
you.
kind attention, and
Yeah.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.